In terms of making organ transplantation accessible to Nigerians, I think everybody needs to do his own part. Alatije mentioned private sector, and there are things that we can do at a community level. And there are things that we can do at the level of individuals, especially the philanthropists and so on. And then we can do at the level of the government. So at the level of community, some people are trying, and then they need to be appreciated. People come together, they form a charity organization, and they give assistance to patients that need the transplant. We have example here in Kano. We have a foundation that get assistance from philanthropists, and we have sponsored patient for organ transplantation, kidney transplantation at AKTH. Some of them we give them half of the money, while those that cannot afford, we paid fully for the transplant. This is what we can do at the level of community. And I also mentioned earlier a community in Nigeria, in Jigawa State, where they have a lot of kidney disease problems. They come together, they raise funds, and one of them set up a dialysis center, and they run it at the level of the community, and they charge very minimal amount of money for dialysis. In that center, you pay as little as 5,000 naira to get a session of dialysis, and it's run by the community. And then at the level of individuals, so Alatije mentioned, even if you are not interested in investing as a business, as a philanthropist, please sponsor patients that need organ transplantation with your money. You save their lives, and then God will reward you abundantly. So at the level of individuals, this is what we can do. Then at the level of the government can do a lot, not necessarily through the insurance. If the government set up center of excellence in organ transplantation, let's say in each of the geopolitical zones of the country, those centers will be run not for profit. At least Nigerian will go, get the service, and pay for the service without adding a profit margin to the service rendered to the individual. This is what happened at AKTH. He's mentioning 17 million. We can get transplant in less than 10 million. In 5 minutes of the increased cost of things in AKTH, it's never above 5 million naira transplant at American. This is because it's not for profit. We ask you to deposit money, and from the money you deposited, we charge for the services we render to the patient. At the end, we calculate your bill. If you have balance, we'll give you medicine for your balance. If you have some money to top up, you pay for the indebtedness. So this is what the government can do. Set up centers of excellence. Make the services affordable to Nigerians, and make the centers as close to them as possible. And the government can do. We subsidize medicine for other diseases. HIV medicine is almost free in the country. Why can't other ailments? Why can't diabetes, hypertension, kidney failure? They can get subsidy. Even though now government is moving away from subsidy, removal of fuel subsidy, energy subsidy, but let the service be available at a non-for-profit basis, so that me, like a civil servant like me and you, can be able to access. And then you mentioned the health insurance scheme in the country. Everybody knows that it's not doing enough. It's really, really not enough. At the moment, kidney dialysis insurance covered for only 6 sessions of dialysis. We pushed for 26 sessions as an association, so that you can get dialysis for a minimum of 3 months. This is because there are 2 types of kidney failure. One is the chronic kidney disease, which leads to kidney failure, and there is acute kidney injury, which also leads to failure of the kidney. The difference between the two is that in acute kidney injury, the kidneys may recover to full function, but the kidney need to be supported for some time, maybe from weeks to months, at most 3 to 6 months. So if the insurance can cover that, and even if you have chronic kidney disease, you need time to psychologically prepare for the long-term management. Now, we find it difficult sometimes. Patient will come severely ill with what we call pulmonary edema. He couldn't breathe. And then you suddenly give him a few sessions of dialysis. He felt relieved. And now the problem comes. When you break the news that, because he struggled to get the few sessions of dialysis you offered to him and he got relief. He's happy that the symptoms are gone. But now when you now break the news that he will need this dialysis for life, they break down. I have seen it. People, so one need time to be prepared that you are going through this process, but over time, this is what is going to happen. So if the insurance coverage can cover at least 3 to 6 months, even if they are not going to give it for life, then it will give the patient time to prepare psychologically for the life he's going to live on with organ failure. And this is what I'm trying to suggest to government. Make the services available, create centers of excellence, and put them as near to the people as possible. Even if you don't want to give subsidy, offer the service at non-for-profit level. This is my suggestion to the government. All this infrastructure thing, the government need to invest. We should understand that as the government invests in road, in power, in energy, there's also the need for massive investment in health to make the service available to Nigerians. Now there are things that can happen in Nigeria, even if you are rich, the service is not available. You can die from simple ailment like a heart attack in your community. In the big cities in Nigeria, you cannot get coronary angiography, you cannot get heart surgery. I met one very rich person in Kano one day. I was telling him that even this with their richness, with their wealth, if God forbid now we fall down with heart attack, we will look at you and then watch you die in Kano. We cannot do anything. So this is what I'm saying. We need to massively invest in infrastructure. You can be a government. It happened now. A member of House of Assembly some years back collapsed and fall down in the house. He died before he reached the hospital because basic first aid equipment that he needed at the time were not available. So government need to invest heavily in health. And also, as Dr. Alatishe said, individuals need to be encouraged to invest in health. And then there are things we can do at the level of our community to help ourselves. And then there are things that we can encourage our sons and daughters that are rich to do in terms of philanthropic activities. Thank you.